Annonsører på denne sendingen er AstraZeneca, Daiichi Sankyo, MSD, GSK, Eli Lilly, Gilead, Roche, Siegen og Novartis.
Hello, Sousa. Åslaug Helland has just presented the NIPU-study here at ESMO. What are your reactions to the presentation?
Well, I think the first reaction, we are very excited with this presentation. There are two companies in the world so far that have randomized data with the cancer vaccines. We have Moderna, that had present with their individualized vaccine in adjuvant melanoma, and now Ultimovacs, that is a much smaller company than Moderna, but also with very exciting data that we think, let's not forget, in an extremely difficult set of patients, where these second-line patients with mesothelioma have no treatment alternatives. They progress and die very fast, unfortunately. So any benefit to these patients is a benefit. So for us, this data showing really that for the first time a universal cancer vaccine has a benefit, not on top of chemotherapy, but on top of already the standard of care immunotherapy. It's very exciting for us, and of course we are very pleased with the opportunity, and of course with the support that Professor Helland and her team had in terms of delivering this data.
So what is the next job to do when you come home to Oslo after this?
Well, it's a lot of work of the team, so that some of them we already started. As we announced recently that we received orphan drug designation. This was applied with the earlier set of data. We are now applying, for some of, potentially breakthrough or fast drug designation with the FDA, and we'll be discussing the set of data both with the FDA and the EMA. And we are also already talking with key opinion leaders and see, what will be the design of a phase 3 study in mesothelioma, because we are absolutely convinced, and I think Professor Helland mentioned that this data clearly supports moving forward with the development UV1 in this indication.
So you will actually discuss with experts in FDA and EMA the possibility for moving into a phase 3 study?
Yeah, the first part, of course, is discuss the set of data and then discuss with them what will be, you always need to agree with them if, what will be the next steps. But this is already basically in practice. Yeah.
So a phase 3 study is extremely expensive. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money, of course. Here at ESMO, there are a lot of the big pharma present. Have you had meetings with these companies to discuss cooperation with them?
Well, we have been in talks, with all of these pharma companies, already for some time. We introduced the science, as we even in two of our studies in the NIPU study, Bristol Myers supplies ipilimumab, nivolumab. So when they look at the science, they look at the protocol, was all agreed. As you also know, we also have a collaboration with AstraZeneca. They supply their products for the DOVAC study in ovarian cancer. But we're talking with multiple companies, and now, of course, the data was just presented, and it will continue on these discussions. Yes, we are going to be talking with some farmers here, and we'll continue. Probably the next opportunity that is a very specific business development conference is the Bio-Europe that is going to happen now in November. So that is going to be another good opportunity with more time for the data to be digested, to be meeting with these pharma companies.
You mentioned Bristol Myers Squibb, who obviously supply you with the two drugs in this study, and AstraZeneca. Are they the most relevant partners that you can go on with?
No, not at all. There is no more relevant partner. As a matter of fact, I think we have the luxury that because UV1, as you can see from our program, we are combining with multiple different types of checkpoint inhibitors. So, as we normally say, we are agnostic of whatever checkpoint inhibitor we combine with. We just need to use the ones that are standard of care in the different indications. So, in reality, of course, the natural partners will be companies that have checkpoint inhibitors. They operate in the field. But there are other big companies that also are experts in oncology, and they don't have checkpoint inhibitors, but for them that is not a barrier, because UV1 then say, we can combine with whoever, So as this potential really that is very helpful for us, because it expands the pool of potential partners for UV1 and Ultimovacs.
In best case, when do you think UV1 can be on the market for mesothelioma?
Well, that's a very difficult question, So it's going to be dependent on the design of the study, how that is going to be, Also, this is a very, very difficult indication. There's no treatments for patients. Of course, we will be discussing with the authorities the possibility for conditional or accelerated approval that could bring the product early to the market while we run a confirmatory phase 3. So it's, from our side, we always operate in the team knows this. We basically as fast as we can. We want to make sure that patients have access to these treatment options and opportunities as soon as possible. So that's why we are already planning for the next steps.
Last question, Carlo de Sousa. You also have a study in melanoma, the INITIUM study. Are there any news there concerning the data which we have been looking forward to get for quite some time now?
No, it's really amazing, particularly for the patients, of course. As you know, so the protocol says that we stop and analyze the data after 70 patients progress or die. And we were expecting the first half of the year. Now, fortunately for these patients, they are not progressing or dying. We move to the second half. Now we have the first half. As I also informed, this could continue. So we have discussed internally and with advisors, and now we are in discussions with the authorities to look at a way of looking at the data earlier before the 70 events without, of course, impacting the strength of the study. And we expect to provide, an update about this process to the market, by the Q3 report that, comes in a couple of weeks. So then we'll be more specific about the timeline.
So at the end of the year, you will have finalized the discussion with the FDA and EMA, so they will give you perhaps give you an opportunity to open the data before you reach the necessary events.
Yes, absolutely. That's the goal. Can we stop and analyze the study before the 70 events without again impacting the value of the study, and we will be able to provide an update to the market, most probably with our Q3 report.